Shalom, shalom. First thing first, I want to give all praises, glory, honor, and power that's due to Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahweh Shah, Bahashim Rakakadash. Double honors to the elders. All right, these apostles at Great Millstone, those who real well on how I learned this truth from. And salutation to the brothers stiffly pushing this one truth in all sincerity and diligence, risking both their lives and freedoms to do so. Shalom to the rest of the elect as we all await the second Exodus coming quickly by the hands of Lord Yahweh Shai. This is your brother Kagabar. I'll be doing this lesson, pretty much, just going into the Motb, all right, and how we're in those times, man, to where this thing is about to get rolled out. Okay, they're about to roll this deal out. Okay, and there's an article that I want to go into. It reads, RFK Jr., all right, wants wearable health tracking devices for all Americans within the next 4 years. All right, RFK Jr. wants wearable health tracking devices for all Americans within the next 4 years. Okay. And when I seen the article, I believe brothers have, went into it. But, I hopped on ChatGPT, and pretty much just typed in movies that showcase a chip, that mark being used to monitor your health and vitals. Okay. And there's a ton of movies that they release that ultimately showcases what they intend to do. All right. Because as we tell you time and time again, the chip is not only going to be limited to your finances, man. It's not only going to be limited to your finances and banking. It's also going to be, everything's going to be interconnected with that deal. All right. Even being able to get into those, electric vehicles, and all those particular things is all going to be linked to it. Okay, and one of the main things that, it's going to be used for is monitoring your health, man. Is your vitals and whatnot. Okay, because the same thing with these smartphones and smartwatches, it can monitor your glucose, your blood sugars levels. It can monitor sleep patterns. Look, man, a chip is going to be able to do all that. They had the technology out. All right, and it's really just to the point to where they're about to start advertising it, because me and the brother, was going into that briefly yesterday. All right, they're going to get to the point to where they're about to start advertising this deal, man. If they want all Americans, because a lot of you Americans are fucking morbidly obese. So, I believe this guy's the Secretary of Health and something along those lines. Let me see if I can find that. He is the United States Secretary of Health and Human Services. Okay. All right. So they, I think they was talking about getting rid of fucking Red 40 or something along those lines. Now they want to start trying to, tackle these health concerns, now that they got people all fucking full of GMOs and, obese and out of shape. Well, this is going to play a role into that, your health, because also dealing with pandemics and diseases being spread, these wearables, which really is going to translate into that chip, they'll be able to monitor your vitals and monitor your bodily conditions. Okay, prevent outbreaks before they happen, right? And they ultimately know who has what. All right, but back to these movies. You could watch these, man. I'll probably check some of them out myself. But here's some movies that showcase chips or embedded tech used to monitor health vitals. All right, enhance the body or track physical condition. All right, Upgrade. Okay. So I'm not going to read the description of all of them. You can screenshot it or, take a look. All right, Elysium. See, it says chips and medical beds instantly scan and heal vitals while implants monitor health constantly. Okay. So it's really just going to be the smartwatches, the smartphone, this technology condensed, all right, and put within your skin. And they already show you that, like I said, with all these movies and Elon Musk, the Neuralink technology, all right, and whatnot. Matter of fact, that was mentioned the other day as well. Elon Musk, man, they're looking to, go ahead and start putting them chips in people's brain to give sight to the blind. And this is why scriptures speak about those miracles, man, whereby he's deceived many people on the earth. Because if you able to walk, if you've never been able to walk, or you got into an accident and you became a paraplegic, you lost your eyesight, or, yada, 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 and they come being Captain Say today and put a chip in your head. Now you can see and walk again. Now you can control a computer and control technology with your brain, with your mind. Hey, that's gonna deceive a lot of people, man. Those miracles are gonna save a lot of people on the left hand side, man. We was talking about that. A lot of people are gonna run to get this put into them, man. And I see it now. It makes sense because this is gonna be cutting edge technology, if you will, man. And it's gonna entice a lot of people. All right, and they saying that they want these health tracking devices for all Americans within the next 4 years, which, hey, Lord willing, they're expediting it, okay? Because, we know about blockchain. We know about Palantir. Trump said he wanted a biometric entry-exit visa system. And we got the border crisis, which is going to play right into them rolling that deal out. So we could be seeing this thing, man, Lord's will, within this year. It's just a matter of, all these things plan out, all right, according to the Lord's will. But this shows us, man, that, look, hey, we definitely in them times, man. Okay. The island, okay, their health is continuously monitored via implants to ensure their organs stay in pristine condition. And look at the date. Some of these movies came out in the early 2000s, man, showing you they've been had the technology. It's just at the point of a good crisis to allow them to bring this new system online, if you will, man. It's why, we waiting and watching dealing with the economic collapse, and the wars that's happening. All this is tied together, man, and bringing this financial reset to pass. Okay. All right. And this chip is going to be largely tied to your health. And this proves that, man. It says bloodshot, Gataka, okay, transcendence. After gaining AI powers, he uses nanotech to heal people and monitor vitals through microscopic implants, man. iRobot, Repo Man, Spider-Man 2, okay. All right, and if you understand these devils, they, universal law, they just got to show you what they're gonna do before they do it. So, yeah, man, we're in the times of the very end, okay. And yeah, they're gonna show you a smartwatch on here, and they talk about Apple Watch and Fitbit and some type of rings, but their true goal, all right, is to put a C-hip in you, man. Okay. They don't make these movies for nothing. I mean, hell, they even show it a lot in video games, man. Shows, TV shows like Black Mirror. See? So this deal is about to go down. Salakia. Psalm 64:1. Hear my voice, O power, and my prayer. Preserve my life from the fear of the enemy. Hide me from the secret counsel of the wicked, from the insurrection of the workers of iniquity. And this is their secret counsel, man. Of course, they're not going to come out and tell you, this type of technology that they want to embed inside of you. The same way, when you go to these grocery stores and they got Apple Pay, scan your palm technology, Amazon Go. All right. Hey, this same technology whereby your biometrics via implants, okay, is going to be used to operate and function in society, man. Okay. But we're not ignorant of what this devil is looking to do. It says, hide me from the secret counsel of the wicked, from the insurrection of the workers of iniquity. All right. Who whet their tongue like a sword and bend their bows to shoot their arrows, even bitter words, man. That they may shoot in secret at the perfect. Suddenly do they shoot at him and fear not. It says they encourage themselves in an evil matter. They commune of laying snares privily. They say, who shall see them? All right. And this is a snare, man, because a lot of people, like I said, due to health conditions and ailments, all right, just having certain problems in their flesh, they're going to look to this technology to be a form of saving to them, man. And that's why it's going to be a miracle that deceives these people, man. Okay. Because the radiation, the cancerous, you know, what this is going to cause, man, it's going to send a lot of people to the spirit world. And that's why the Lord said, don't take this shit, man. But that's really it on that. You know, I'll put the article in the description box. Okay. But that's really it on that, man. This deal is going down. All right. And Lord's will, man, we see major motion on this particular prophecy, man, you know, within this year. But that's it on that. I'm going to give all praises to Yahweh Bashim Al Shah, Bashim Kakadash, DTA Wababa Ball, Shalom.